in the muscle of Namada Kisufa, right? It would be an embarrassment for you to get something for nothing, so therefore I give you an opportunity to earn it. So let's analyze this for a moment. Imagine the following scenario. You have a rich fella who has a son-in-law, and he's supporting the son-in-law, and he reaches the point where he comes to think, it must be an embarrassment for the son-in-law to be living on the dole, so to speak. I'm going to give him a job, and this way he can earn it. Okay, it's a good idea. The problem is the son-in-law has no skills. There's nothing he really can contribute to the success of the enterprise. So I give him a job, give him a little office, and I tell him, analyze these reports, and report back to me every week, and you'll really be doing something big for the company. In the meantime, it's really busy work. There's no benefit at all. The reports are irrelevant. There's no information that they provide us, but it's keeping him busy, and he's operating under the illusion that he's doing something of great value. And now when he comes home with his paycheck, he's really proud of himself. I really earned it. It's not like the olden days where I used to get a check for doing nothing. No, I'm really working, I'm contributing, and I get my paycheck. He discovers that really it's totally unnecessary. That everything he's doing is worthless. The reports are worthless. The analysis is worthless. There's no benefit at all. So how is he going to feel? Probably worse than he felt in the first place. You see, that scheme is therefore inadequate for a second reason. It's not only because, as a psychological problem, it could have been avoided by HaKadosh Baruch Hu making us different. There's a more fundamental problem. That if HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us work, to do what? It's busy work. Right? You do these mitzvahs, I'll give you a Ilam Haba. What does he need it for? And if he really doesn't need it, right, what's the point? Now, this points us to a direction that we have to face up to, which is that mitzvahs are not busy work. It's not just, he gives us a job to be able to give us Ilam Haba. There has to be something in the mitzvahs that we do which has real value for God's scheme. And that's why it's not Namada Kisufa. And the answer is this, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world that we should have dveikus to Him. If these actions facilitate dveikus, they are doing something which is of genuine value to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Not that HaKadosh Baruch Hu needs it, but that HaKadosh Baruch Hu really wants it. Now go back to the mashal. Let's say the father-in-law gave the son-in-law a job to paint the offices. Is he really making a contribution to the success of the enterprise? I could argue that the enterprise would be just as successful if the walls weren't painted. But if that gives satisfaction to the boss, if the boss enjoys a working environment in which the walls are painted more than a working environment in which the walls are not painted, then he is making a contribution. Right? So it's the same thing. Of course, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu has no needs, but if the HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants that in the world man should become davuk to the Ribono Shel Olam, and these acts create that dveikus, so you are doing something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu values, and it's worth rewarding you for that. But the mitzvahs have to have value. They have to have intrinsic value. And therefore the Medrash says that it's not just because we have flaws, and these rectify our flaws. The mitzvahs are deeds which are moila dveikus. They create a bonding to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because these are God-like activities. And they are God-like activities because these are the types of things that God Himself does. Kavyachol, if we could understand such a thing. But these are godly activities. When we do them, we become God-like. Obviously, these ideas are words, or we can't fully understand them, but that's the idea that Rav Tzadok is speaking about. So it says of Tzadok that the mitzvahs of Purim are also that way. God also fulfills the mitzvah of Shalach Manos on Purim. So the next time you think of not doing it, oh, what a pain in the neck, saying Shalach Manos. God also said Shalach Manos. And listen how he sees it in the verse. It says, Umishloach Manos ish l'reyehu. It says, he sent Shalach Manos, a person to his friend. So ish. What does ish mean? Hainu Hashem ish Muhammad. We find the word ish used with reference to God. It says Hashem ish Muhammad. God is a man of war. God is a warrior. We calls him ish. So when it says Mishlech Manos ish l'reyehu, one way of understanding ish is a reference to God. Hashem ish Muhammad. Mishlech Manos ish. The ish sends Manos. That's God sends Manos. L'reyehu. What does reyehu mean? To his friend. What does a friend mean? A friend means an equal. An equal. So there has to be another being who is called an ish in the same way that God is called an ish. Now I'm reminded in Parshas Mishpatim, it says, Ki yigach shor ish es shor reyehu. If the shore of a man gores his friend shore reyehu. So what does that mean, shor reyehu? What is the antecedent? His friend. So the Ibn Ezra brings a pshat that a certain person said that it refers back to the shore. The shore gored his own friend, meaning another shore. So I can't remember the name of the particular sage, but Ibn Ezra says, Ein l'shor reya, the only friend the shore has is this particular sage, because it doesn't mean the shore's friend. It means the friend of the man. The shore of a man gored the shore of the man's friend, right? Not the shore's friend. But in any case, friend means a peer. So if ish means God, who is the friend who is God's equivalent? So he says, L'reyehu, Hainu, this refers to Darchei Shedarshu Zal, B'haraya. This is along the lines that Chazal say in Maseches Brachos Perek Haraya. It says in the pasuk that there were great hailstones that are called Avnei al Gavish. Stones al Gavish. So what does it mean al Gavish? So it says that these are stones she'omdu al Gavish. They stood for a man. Meaning the hailstones were falling and they stood still at the man's command. Now who was that? Who was the person that caused the hailstones to stop? That is Moshe Rabbeinu. We know by the back of Bar of Mitzrayim, when he said the bar should stop, it stopped, and Chazal tell us there were stones in the middle of the sky that just stopped coming down. So it was Omdu al Gavish. Zeh Moshe. That refers to Moshe. Shenemar, where do you see Moshe is called an ish? It says V'ho'ish Moshe. Ho'ish Moshe. He's called an ish. Now that means like this. I'm also called an ish. But if ish refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so ish l'reyehu doesn't mean HaKadosh Baruch Hu to me. I'm not God's equal in any sense. So if it says ish l'reyehu and ish means God, then the reyehu means another person who's called ish, but somehow is up there. And therefore it means Moshe Rabbeinu, a person like Moshe Rabbeinu. Now what does that mean? What does it mean like Moshe Rabbeinu? That God sends Shalach Manos to Moshe Rabbeinu. So let me explain. So the Yadua, it's well known, the Shayresh Talmud Chacham Nikra Moshe B'chol Chachmei Kol Adeiros. We know that in every generation, the true Talmidei Chacham are called Moshe. You know that? In every generation, the lashon of the Mekubalim is the Talmidei Chacham of every generation are is Pashtusa the Moshe Rabbeinu. They are the extension of Moshe Rabbeinu. Now this is an idea which you find in Sefer Chasidus often. There are certain roles that people play. Let me give you an example of something else that Tzadok says elsewhere. There's a Gemara that says in the Sefer Tainus, because I'm a Rav. Rav said that b'chol yom v'yom, every day, a bas koil comes forth from Har Chorev, from Har Sinai, and says that, a bas koil comes out, not from Har Sinai, comes out and says, Kol ha'olam kulo nizam b'shvil Chanina b'ni, the entire world is sustained in the merit of my son Chanina. The Chanina b'ni dailo b'kav charuvim me'erev Shabbos le'erev Shabbos. And he himself, even though the whole world is sustained in his merit, he himself, it's enough, one small measure of carob from Friday to Friday. That's all he eats. So who does this refer to? Who is this Chanina b'ni? So from the context, it refers to the great Tana of Chanina ben Doisa. Chanina ben Doisa was a tremendous tzaddik. He was a Melumad Benisim, the Gemara says, miracles followed him around, and the whole world is sustained in his merit, and yet, what does he take from the world? Very, very little. The problem is, who is the author of this statement? Rav. Rav lived several hundred years after Chanina ben Doisa. So what is Rav telling us? That every day there's a bas koil that comes out and says the entire world is sustained in the merit of Rav Chanina ben Doisa. He's long gone. So says Reb Tzadok like this. There's a Tzadok in Chanukah. He says that in every generation there is a person who is called Chanina. The word Chanina means matnas chinam, means a free gift. It is a person who recognizes that everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us is unearned. It's a free gift. And the entire world is sustained in that person's merit. See, the rest of us have a different attitude. We say, listen, I'm such a good Jew, I went to Daf Yomi. I daven 3 times a day, do mitzvahs. Don't I deserve something? Right? That's not a good attitude. But the one person who recognizes that it's all a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's called Chanina, because that's what Chanina means, a free gift, and the whole world is sustained in his chus. In the generation of Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa, by an amazing coincidence, that neshama who in heaven is called Chanina, that was his name down here too. He was called Chanina ben Doisa. In our generation, maybe the guy's name is David, Chaim, maybe something else. Sweet, right? Could be anything. But he's Chanina. He's the Chanina of the door. He's the person in this generation who recognizes that it's a matnas chinam. In every generation, there's a neshama called Moshe. Or there are a number of neshamas called Moshe. These are the true Talmidei Chachamim. These are the Talmidei Chachamim that have what it takes to be Talmidei Chachamim. The anova, the humility, the midas, etc., the working on themselves. It happens to be that in that particular generation, that neshama that was called Moshe, his name was Moshe. Amazing coincidence. There were generations where it was named Moshe. I'm sure that the Rambam in his generation was that person. And his name was Moshe. And I would say that it could be that in our generation, Moshe Feinstein in his lifetime, that he certainly was one of those people. I'll tell you an amazing thing, that when he was ill, B'Seif Yamav, so his family wanted to make a Shinoi Hashem. They wanted to change his name, add a name, and he refused. So well, everyone changes their name. What's wrong with it? So I like my name. He wouldn't change it. But I'll tell you something interesting. This is a little-known story. In our family, we had a child who was ill. And we wanted to make a Shinoi Hashem. So it's brought down in Svarim that when you make a Shinoi Hashem, you play around with names, it's a dangerous thing. So you have to go to a person who's a big person. So Rav Moshe was still alive. So we sent someone to go to Rav Moshe to ask what name they should add to this child's name, the boy. And Rav Moshe said, they told him, the young man, the child was very sick. So Rav Moshe said they should add the name Moshe. Shad named Moshe. Now, you know, when a person is sick, they always add Chaim, Rafael. So he said, Shad named Moshe. So he told him, the father's name is Moshe, my middle name is Moshe. There's a Moshe. So he says, there's such Shad Rafael. But he said originally Shad Moshe. I know. It's interesting that and not long after, when he was ill, he held that he had to keep the name Moshe. He said another story. He said that he gave out Svarim, and all his Svarim on the title page, it says Moshe. Now he'd have to recall them all and change it to change his name. It doesn't seem to be, that was the... I think there are deeper things over here.
Royalties.
Right?
Get more royalties.
More royalties, yeah. Anyway, so the point is that in every generation there's the Talmidei Chacham Amitim, the true Talmidei Chachamim, they're called Moshe. They're called Moshe. And he brings this, Kinaida Mitam Arizal, like is known from the Arizal, Al Maimer Razal. There's a Gemara that says that two Talmidei Chacham were arguing, and one finally conceded to the other, and he said, Moshe, Shaper Kabrit, you said good. So, why did I say Moshe? I mean, Rashi learns it was an exclamation, like we say, by George, you know. So when we say George, by George, what's George's yichus? I don't know.
King George.
This is Moshe. But the Arizal says Pshat in that Gemara is that this was a Talmid Chacham who said a davar emes, so he says Moshe. It was you're Moshe in our generation. You're Moshe. You're the Talmid Chacham Amiti. Shaper Kamet. You said good. So when it says Ish L'Reyehu, it means that God Baruch Hu sends Shalach Manas to Moshe Rabbeinu. Meaning that on Purim there is a special gift of Torah that is given to the Talmidei Chachamim of the Dar. The emes of Talmidei Chachamim have a special enlightenment that they receive on Purim. That's God's Shalach Manas. That's God's Shalach Manas. To the Talmidei Chachamim that are begetter Moshe Rabbeinu, that's Mishlach Manas Ish L'Rei, Hashem Ish Mochama sends to the person who is like him, God-like, which is Moshe Rabbeinu. Ish Moshe. Now, what this means is can be understood from many angles. I'll tell you at least one of the angles. The Chazal say, by the Muhammad of Amalek, it said, Ki yad al keis ka, Muhammad Hashem ba'Amalek. There's a hand on the throne of God swearing that there'll be an eternal war against Amalek. But when it talks about God's hand swearing by his throne, it says Yod al Keis God. There's a hand on the throne of God. But the word case is not the normal word. Normally it would be kisei. There's an aleph missing. And Keis Ka is not God's full name. Normally it's a Yud Kei Vav Kei. So Chazal say that as long as Amalek is in the world, the kisei is not shalem, and the shame is not shalem. And the shame is not shalom. Now, what does it mean the shame isn't shalom? The shame isn't shalom. So, certainly we're dealing with Sayyidus of Torah, but on the simplest level is like this. The Mekubalim say that the first two letters of the shame, Yud Kei, those are the letters of creation. Those are the letters with which God created the world. But the Gemara says, Mor Menachah says, that Hashem made the world with the letters Yud Kei. It says, Ki b'ka Hashem sur olamim, I'll take with sur olamim, sar olamim. God made the universe with Yud Kei. Olam haba with Yud, and Olam hazeh with Hey. Mor Menachah. Right? Why that is, we'll leave for another time. But Yud Kei are the letters of creation. Vav Kei are the letters of Hanhaga. Because after the world was created, God runs the world. That's with the letters of Vav Kei. So Yud Kei are the letters of creation. Vav Kei are the letters of supervision. Amalek the Sfarim tell us they were deists. They weren't atheists, they were deists. Deists believed that God created the universe, but after the creation, he withdrew, and the world runs by itself. So Amalek doesn't reject Yud K. They reject Vav K. Right? They don't reject the Isis of Bria. They don't reject the letters of creation. They reject the Isis of Hanaga. And they believe God created the world, he set it into motion, now the world runs by itself. So this is the ideology they bring into the world. It's false, it's a sheker. But their very existence creates a doubt in our minds.